भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। ॐ नमो भगवते वासुदेवाय। So, welcome to Bhagavad Gita class. Today we are going to discuss chapter 12, text number 3 and 4. I will read the text and you all can kindly repeat after me. Ye tu aksharam anirdhesham avyaktam paryupasate etyap sarvatragam achintyam cha kutastham achalam dhruvam sanniyamya indriyagramam sarvatra samabuddhayaha te praptumanti mam eva sarvabhutahite ratah. Word meaning, translation and purport by Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada. Jagat Guru Srila Prabhupada ki jai. A. Those who, to, but, aksharam, that which is beyond the perception of the senses, anindriyam, anirdesham, indefinite, avyaktam, unmanifested, paryupasate, completely engaged in worshipping, sarvatra gama, all pervading, achintyam, inconceivable, cha, also, kutastham, unchanging, achalam, immovable, dhruvam, fixed, sanniyamya, controlling, indriyagramam, all the senses, sarvatra, everywhere, samabuddhayaha, equally disposed, te, they, prapnuvanti, achieve, mam, me, eva, certainly, sarvabhutahite, for the welfare of all living entities, ratha, engaged. But those who fully worship the unmanifested, that which lies beyond the perception of the senses, the all-pervading, inconceivable, unchanging, fixed and immovable, the impersonal conception of the absolute truth. By controlling the various senses and being equally disposed to everyone, such persons, engaged in the welfare of all, at last achieve me. Purport. Those who don't worship the Supreme Godhead, Krishna, but who attempt to achieve the same goal by an indirect process, also ultimately achieve the same goal, Sri Krishna. After many births, the man of wisdom seeks refuge in me, knowing that Vasudeva is all. When a person comes to full knowledge after many births, he surrenders on to Lord Krishna. If one approaches the Godhead by the method mentioned in this verse, he has to control the senses, render service to everyone, and engage in the welfare of all beings. It is inferred that one has to approach Lord Krishna, otherwise there is no perfect realization. Often there is much penance involved before one fully surrenders onto him. In order to perceive the super soul within the individual soul, one has to cease the sensual activities of seeing, hearing, tasting, working, etc. Then one comes to understand that the Supreme Soul is present everywhere. Realizing this, one envies no living entity. He sees no difference between man and animal because he sees soul only, not the outer covering. But for the common man, this method of impersonal realization is very difficult. Om Ajnanatimirandasya Jnananjanashalakaya Chakshurunmilitam Yena Tasmai Sri Gurave Namaha. Sri Chaitanya Manobhishtam Stapitam Yena Bhutale Swayam Rupa Khadamayam Dadati Swapadantikam Vandeham Sri Gurun Sri Yutapadakamalam Sri Gurun Vaishnavanscha Sri Rupam Sagrajatam Sahagana Raghunathanvitam Tam Sajivam Sadvaitam Savadutam Parijana Sahitam Krishna Chaitanya Devam Sri Radha Krishna Padan Sahagana Lalita Sri Vishakhanvitanscha He Krishna Karuna Sindho Dinabandho Jagatpate Gopesha Gopika Kanta Radha Kanta Namostute Tapta Kanchana Gaurangi Radhe Vrindavaneshwari Vrishabhanusute Devi Pranamami Hari Priye Vancha Kalpatarubhyasya Krupa Sindhubhya eva cha Patitanam Pavanebhyo Vaishnavebhyo Namo Namaha. Jaya Sri Krishna Chaitanya Prabhu Nityananda Sri Advaita Gadadhara Sri Vasadi Gaura Bhakta Vrinda. Hare Krishna 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 Hare 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 Rama 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 Hare Hare. Mukam karoti vachalam pangum langaite girim yat krupa tamaham vande Sri Gurun Deenatarinam Sri Chaitanya Ishwaram. So today we have a very important text. Of course, all texts are very important, but here some concepts are made clear to the whole human society about the two types of worships. taking the form of Krishna and without any form. Those who pray to Brahma Jyoti or Brahma, Nirakara, impersonalists. So, Krishna is explaining those who worship the formless, unmanifested, unconceivable form, they can also reach at last, but they have to control all the senses, they have to do the welfare activities, they have to see that every living entity is as soul. And Prabhupada is making it very clear. It is for a common man like me, it is very difficult. And Krishna in the next text makes it more clear. Klesho dhikatarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam avyakta higatir dukkam dekhavadbhiravapyate. So, in the next text, that is tomorrow, we are going to listen. Klesho adhikatarastesham. Klesha, the difficulties, problems, dukkha, the misery is much more when we adopt this process. Krishna himself is making in the text number 5. So we can see very clearly that controlling the senses is not an easy thing. It is just very difficult. Arjuna says, controlling air is very easy. Krishna, you have explained about the yoga systems and all. Oh, I think it is not practicable. Very difficult for anybody to adopt. Arjuna says, it is Chanchalam hi mana Krishna, 634. Chanchalam hi mana Krishna pramadhi balavadhrudam tasyaham nigraham manye vayorivasu dushkaram. It is more difficult than controlling air. Air somebody may be able to control by any process, but controlling the mind is very difficult. So Krishna, kindly tell me, it's very difficult. Krishna agrees. Krishna says, 635, Krishna says, yes, it is difficult. But abhyasena tu kaunteya, by doing the practice and vairagya, by detachment and practice, yes, you can try. You can try that process. So many people have tried to control their senses. We see in the different Puranas how they actually got into trouble. The famous one is Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra was a very strong king, and he was a king, and he was moving here and there one day, and ultimately he reached Vasishtha Maharshi's house or ashram. And the king has come, so Vasishtha has given him all the respects and told him, now it is evening, you have started in the morning, now it is evening, you just have dinner and stay here, tomorrow you can go. So Vishwamitra says, okay. Then Vasishtha Muni asks, yes, O king, what do you want? What do you want to eat? Menu. He is asking menu. What do you want? No, can we get in this forest? It's such an isolated, whatever. No, whatever you say, you tell. We will get it. So he gives a big list. He wants to see whether is it really possible. He said, anything more? Anything more, king? You ask your other soldiers and your Senapati, other people, whoever had come. Huh? I have given such a big list, and you say anything more? And somebody says, you get this also, paneer pakoda. If it is winter, you ask for something which is only available in summer, like mango in winter, difficult to get. Nowadays we may get the which are stored and we take out. But the seasonal fruits, unseasonally they ask, they said, okay, anything else? Everyone is surprised. He is asking as if anything is possible. The Ganga is flowing, water, how much water you want? He is just like that, he is asking. Then, and within no time, okay, you all please be seated on your asanas on the floor. And everyone is sitting. And whatever they have asked, everything is coming. Hot, fresh, neat, very tasty. Everyone is surprised. Vishwamitra was also very much surprised. And he says, Vasishtha Muni, kindly inform me how you are getting all this. Any demigod is present in your deity room? Just you go and submit the menu and everything is, in seconds it is arranged. No. You see that Sabala, that is my cow, like Surabhi cow, Kamadhenu cow. This is Sabala. This is Sabala. Why it is called Sabala, you will also understand in a few minutes. And Vishwamitra says, oh, that is very good. Yeah, very nice. Can you give it to me? Because I get so many guests, so many people will be coming from different countries also. I can give them such nice prasadam. Vasishtha Muni says, this is meant for doing all the yajna and all that. And whatever, whoever come from a very long distance, moving in the forest, they come to know that Vasishtha, this fellow, is staying here and they come here. And any time I serve them. This is meant for that. I have been given by the great people. So, I cannot give? Vishwamitra says, I am the king. I think you know that. So, any good thing should lie with the king. So, give it. Vasishtha says, no. We are performing religious activities and as king you have to encourage the good things here. So, sorry. And he says, I told you, I am the king. Soldiers, take this Sabala. Just like Sahasrabahu went to Jamadagni's place, same thing happened. So here, now this is going, cow is going, and Vasishtha Muni says, what to do? Okay. He kept silent. Sabala, the cow, looks at his master, Vasishtha Muni, and he says, oh Vasishtha Muni, save me, these people are taking me away from this ashram. This, what can I do? He is quite powerful, he is a king. Sabala says, the cow says, Vasishtha Muni, kindly give me permission. I will show my power. Vasishtha Muni says, okay, do whatever you want. I know you are capable. Then the people who are dragging, the soldiers who are dragging, immediately Sabala produces soldiers to attack these soldiers. One by one the soldiers are getting defeated, they are going. And more soldiers are coming because they come to know. The soldiers, they are running away and telling, oh, some soldiers are coming and they are getting defeated. That cow is producing soldiers are coming out and come. Many more soldiers are coming, all soldiers are getting finished off. Then Vishwamitra runs away, leaving the cow. Vishwamitra, after going things, I am thinking that I have all power in my kingdom and I have all the powers, but this man is much more powerful. So he goes and starts, yes, now I should also become a rishi. He starts meditation and prayers. He prays to Shiva. He prays to Shivaji and gets some more astras, some more weapons, and comes back. Comes back to Vasishtha Muni's ashram. Comes back and he says, now I have this. You say, kindly give. Sabala says, smiles. What you have? Nothing. Then he uses all the weapons. Now Vasishtha Muni says, Sabala, you wait. Now I will show my little bit of power. Even though I get exhausted of my pious activities, my punya will get reduced, but still let me handle this case. So now again he defeats all the people and Vishwamitra. Vishwamitra gets more insulted now. Now he goes back and he says, I am leaving my kingdom. My son, whoever is there, he said, okay, you be the king. That's all. Now onwards I should be the Muni, Rishi, and I should become Brahmarshi. Now he starts total meditation for thousands of years. He is determined. There comes the demigods, see his tapasya, his austerities being performed, and they send Apsara, Menaka. Menaka comes down and with the ankle bells and with her beauty, she attracts, she makes the noise, and this fellow opens his eyes and sees such a beautiful woman. And he immediately says, okay, she wants to get married, so he marries. He lives for some time. And then, oh my God, 10-15 years are passed and I was doing all tapasya and everything is gone. Oh my God. Bye bye, Menaka. He says bye. Okay, if you are saying bye, I also say bye. I have nothing to do here. She goes back to heaven. And that child, Shakuntala, was anyhow, that is a long story. Now the thing is, the people who try to control the senses and try to perform some austerities, we have seen they get into so many troubles. And they are not successful. The whole problem is controlling the mind is not easy. The senses are very, very strong. So in Kathopanishad, there is a very famous sloka, Kathopanishad 1.3.3 to 4. Atmanam raditam viddhi shariram radhamevacha buddhin tu saradhim viddhi manapagrahamevacha indriyani hayanahu vishayansteshu gocharan atmendriyamano yuktam bhoktetya huranishanaha. Body is chariot, the Atma, the soul is the passenger. Buddhim, intelligence, is saradhim, saradhi, the driver. Mind, mana, the reins, the controlling mechanism, controlling instruments. And the senses are like horse. So, the passenger is sitting in the chariot. The horses are running and the reins are there for controlling it through the driver, the buddhi, the intelligence. It is like, suppose you are in the car. You are inside the car sitting at the back side and you have a driver. And the driver has the controlling mechanism of the steering wheel. And the vehicle is moving, the car is moving through the wheels, tires. Suppose the passenger says, you are sitting, you want to drink some water, take by a shop, and you tell the driver, take back the car, I want to buy. Then he is trying to take it back. The steering wheel is not working. Steering wheel is working as per the wheels. The way wheel is going, steering is getting moved. That it is not moving as per the wish of the driver. What will be the situation for the body? That is the car. What will be the circumstance? How you visualize the situation of the car? Car is moving in its own zigzag way. It's not moving in any proper direction. So in the Kathopanishad, it is explained, taking the example of the chariot. The chariot is the body and the passenger is the Atma. The mind is the mechanism of controlling, the controller is the driver, buddhi, intelligence. Intelligence is the driver and the controlling mechanism is the mind, manas. And the wheels or the driving mechanism, that is the horses, they are the senses. The senses are driving. So, if the intelligent person controls it properly, the chariot will move, passenger will be safe. If the intelligent is not working and mind is working under the control of the senses, tires are moving, wheels are moving in its own way and the steering wheel mechanism is out of control, wheel is not working, what will happen? It will only have accident and car will become useless. Similarly, if our senses are not controlled, actually our life, our body gets, within no time, it becomes useless. The purpose of our body is to realize Krishna. The purpose is to go back to Godhead. That purpose is gone. So, but it is very difficult to control them. The best way to control is to put them into action. You want to do some activities, you want to see something beautiful, okay, see Krishna who is so beautiful. You want to hear something very, very interesting and melodious, listen to Krishna's Leelas, Krishna's pastimes, Sankirtana. And Jikwa, the tongue, wants to keep on talking and talking and making others to listen. Talk about Krishna, sing. So utilizing them, utilizing the senses for Krishna makes them under the control of the mind. Not that you don't want, I will go to the forest and I don't want to see anybody, I don't want to talk to anybody and I will achieve the perfection. No, not possible. This mind is the one which is very difficult to control, because these senses, even though they apparently not doing any work, but they are gathering lot of information and feeding to the mind. You see, it should have been done like this. You have a house. So one sadhu comes to the forest thinking that he can do or perform all the activities and control his senses. He leaves his house and locks it, keeps the key with him. One day he sees a dream. His house is ransacked by the thieves. All thieves have gone inside the house and taken out whatever they have. He gets up, oh my God, my house. I think the dream I had in the morning, it must be true. It may become true. He runs back to his house, opens his room and he looks whether everything is okay or not. That is the situation. We will be disturbed within no time. So, if we make our senses useful in the service of Krishna, then slowly they come under the control and they start giving enjoyment to the mind, and the jiva, the atma, can relish and ultimately go back to Godhead. Otherwise it is not possible. By adopting this process of imperialistic process, it is very difficult. Prabhupada explains, imperialistic who want to merge in Brahma Jyoti, Brahma effulgence, Brahma Jyoti, they fall down due to false and unreasonable claim of being one with the Supreme. They want to merge with the Supreme. Merging is neither possible nor it is required. Because Krishna explained, this Atma is the one which is the fragmental part of me, and they are Sanatana. They will remain as it is. The Atma will never be vanished. Then where is the question of merging? Merging is ruled out. But still they think that they can merge. That is not possible. So here in this 12.34, Krishna says, imperialists, they will not have the form of worshipping, and worshipping unmanifested, unconceived, with the control of senses, equally poised, engaged in all welfare activities. All this is very, very difficult for a common man to achieve. Krishna explained in 10.8, the Chatusloki Bhagavad Gita, Aham sarvasya prabhavo mattaha sarvam pravartate iti matva bhajante mam buddha bhava samanvita. Aham sarvasya prabhu. Everything in this universe is emanated from me. Everything is coming from me. Those Buddha bhava, those who are intelligent, they understand this and they themselves get engaged in the devotional activities. They will get engaged in the devotional service after understanding that everything is coming from Krishna only. Then how they do? They will enjoy by doing the kirtana, by speaking the glories of the Lord, pastimes of the Lord, describing one another, and they become tushyanti cha ramanti cha. They enjoy their life with all satisfaction. So, and when they are doing this devotional activity with all the enjoyment and feeling, deriving, getting all the satisfaction, what Krishna will do? Tesham satata yuktanam bhajatam priti purvakam dadami buddhi yogam tvam yena mam upayanti te. I will give, dadami, I will give buddhi yogam, the intelligence, yena mam upayanti te, so that he can come back to me. You need not do anything. Don't work hard for, trying to achieve knowledge or all. I will supply. I will make you hear. I will get you. Suddenly, we see so many people. We understand from so many people. The same sloka I read for years, it didn't enter my mind. Now suddenly, this is the meaning. All these days I was not understanding. So Krishna gives the buddhi, intelligence, so that the person, the devotee can go back. So the activities are performed with all happiness, with all pleasure, without losing anything. Krishna explains, this is the devotional activity which will give you everything. You want wealth? Wealth will come. You want name, fame? It will come. You want anything else? It will come. All material things are byproducts, it will come. But if you are longing for it, if you are desiring for it, no. Vedeshu yajneshu tapassu chaiva Daneshu yat punya phalam pradishtam. Atyeti tat sarvamidam viditva yogi paramsthanam upayita chadyam. Text number 28 of chapter 8. 828. Yeah. So, the results you get by reading Vedas, Vedeshu, by performing Yagneshu, by performing tapasya, the penances, austerities, and daneshu, by giving charity to hundreds of people I am giving, I will get back something. You will get the result of all that punya, all those good activities you will get automatically. And at the end you go back to Godhead. So if a person is quite wealthy, quite healthy, it is because of the punya, the good deeds he has performed. Krishna says, if you perform the devotional activity, you will get everything. So what is the problem? Only thing is, we should become intelligent that everything is coming from Krishna. We are the servant of Krishna. Our constitutional position is to serve Krishna, not serving somebody, not serving some human beings and feeling. No. So, Jivera Swarupa Eva Krishnera Nityadas. That is the thing. So, if we realize that, and if we perform the devotional activity which is performed very happily, when you take prasadam, you are very happy. You take different types of prasadam offered to Krishna, and you are happy. So the devotional activity is performed in a very happy way, very convenient way, comfortable way, and we go back definitely back to Godhead. So Krishna says, this is what you have to do. This 12th chapter, each sloka, each text is so important. So next, after explaining that this process is very difficult, klesho dikarastesham avyakta sakta chetasam, then in 12.8 Krishna gives very clear cut instruction how a person can go back to Godhead, back to Krishna. Mayeva mana adatva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivashishyasi mayeva ata urdhvam na samshayah. Mayeva mana adatva mayi buddhim niveshaya. 12.8 Krishna says very simple thing, very easy to understand. Put all your intelligence for me. Mayeva mana adatva mayi buddhim niveshaya. Always remember me. In your mind always think about me and use all your intelligence for me. If you do this, if you always remember Krishna and do activities for Krishna, Krishna promises you will go back. You will come back to Krishna. Krishna says you will come back to me. Mayeva mana adatva mayi buddhim niveshaya nivashishyasi mayeva ata urdhvam na samshayaha. Don't doubt about this. Oh, I am always thinking about Krishna, I am doing everything, all my intelligence is used for Krishna. I will go back. I think I am doubtful. Krishna says, no, don't doubt. There is no question of doubting. You can come back. So, Prabhupada has made our life so simple, taking all the instructions of Vedas, Bhagavad Gita and Bhagavatam and given us the principles. The 4 regulative principles. No meat eating, no intoxication, no gambling and no illicit sex. And always remember Krishna, never forget Krishna. And at least 16 rounds of the Hare Krishna Mahamantra. So this process is so simple. If we adopt this, we are sure to go back. Otherwise, if somebody thinks we adopt the Nirvishesha or some other process, no, very very difficult. Regarding controlling the senses, actually there is a very famous sloka in Srimad Bhagavatam. Yat pada pankaja palasha vilasa bhaktya sarmashayam gaditamad gadayanti santa tadgandha. What is that? Yat pada pankaja palasha vilasa bhaktya. You see, the non-devotees, they try to control the senses by so many other means. It is impossible, they fail. The jnanis, the great people who are adopting different types of yoga systems, yogis, they fail to control their senses. But Yatpada Pankaja Palasha Vilasa Bhaktya, the devotees who are taking the shelter of Krishna and always praying to him, doing the devotional activities, they control the senses so easily. So, just surrender on to Krishna and take shelter of Krishna. You will definitely go back. That's what our whole philosophy is. The whole philosophy is explained in one very good sloka which we all know, and I will just discuss for 1 minute. Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur had given Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya Stadhama Vrindavanam Ramya Kachidupasana Vrajavadu Vargenaya Kalpita Srimad Bhagavatam Pramanamamalam Seva Pumatho Mahan Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamidam Tatradharana Para. In a gist, Vishwanath Chakravarti Thakur explained, this is what Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhu has given us, which we have to take it seriously with great respect. Number 1, Aradhyo Bhagavan Vrajesha Tanaya. The Krishna, the Vrajesha Tanaya, he is the one who is worshipable God. And the Tadhama Vrindavanam and the Vrindavan Dham. Number 3, the Ramya Kachid Upasana Vrajavadu. The gopis' way of worshipping is the supermost, topmost worshipping process. Gopis have performed the devotional activity by doing all activities for Krishna only. Always remembering Krishna, doing everything for Krishna's pleasure, nothing for individual pleasure. Then Srimad Bhagavatam is the authoritative for all our discussions, pramanam, it is the proof of the concepts, and this is Sri Chaitanya Mahaprabhur Matamedam. And getting Krishna's love, Krishna's devotional service, loving devotional service is our ultimate aim. So in gist, this sloka, Aradhyo Bhagavan, gives the whole philosophy of our Hare Krishna movement. So we should adopt it and get all the benefits. We should know that we are in the birth and death cycle. Our life, how much is remaining, we don't know. It is definitely coming down every day. So if we take it very seriously and do the devotional activity in the remaining period of our life, we are sure to go back to Godhead. Hare Krishna. So if you have some questions, doubts, we can discuss. Yes, Prabhuji. Rajavidya Prabhu, at least you ask question. Uh, you are so kind to say that. So, any questions? Any comments?
The last paragraph says that in order to perceive the super soul within the individual soul, one has to cease the sexual activities of seeing, hearing, tasting, working, etc. So, if Prabhupada is writing this and we are his followers, so Prabhupada has realized super soul within his heart, surely. But we practitioners, is it really possible I can feel super soul, the four-handed form, growing within my heart? Really? I think it's possible, but been through light what I'm trying.
That realization is possible when the devotional service is done exclusively for Krishna. If we are doing devotional service, we are doing some seva and we have some intentions inside. No? Suppose somebody is singing kirtan. I am singing so that tomorrow they will call me for some function and they give me 5,000 rupees for 1 hour program. If that is my intention and do very nice kirtan, I should do very nice kirtan. Some VIPs are present, they do so many good programs and at least some programs I should go and get the money. If that is the intention, no, never Krishna will be seen inside the heart. Anyavilashatasam, 100%. This is the one. Not even that, I want to see Krishna. No need. That Abhilasha is also. I want to please Krishna. My intention is to please Krishna. All my activities are for pleasing Krishna only. I need not. That's why the liberation or the moksha is only a byproduct. It will come on its own. You ask for the devotional service. You carry out the devotional service. Automatically everything will come. Because Krishna will take, you are doing such a nice service. But before that, Maya will put so many tests. He will submit the report every day, every moment. I gave this test and this man has failed. Krishna, oh, this man has failed. Put him back. Let him do more service. Somebody insults. And this fellow is reacting, oh, tum kya samajh rahe ho? What are you thinking about me? I am a member in ISKCON. Oh, what is that? And he says, oh, put him back. He has to do more practice. Then he realizes when he becomes so cool and calm, then, okay, Maya says, yes, he was subjected to some insult and he is bearing it. Krishna, he has passed. Okay, next test. Purification process. So every time you are subjected to those tests, we have to have total belief in Krishna, faith in Krishna that Krishna will take care, and our surrendering process, we have to check ourselves and move ahead.
How do we know that Krishna is pleased?
How do we know?
How do you know that Krishna is pleased?
Please. Yeah. How do you know that Krishna is pleased? This is a $1,000 question. That realization will come inside you. You yourself will get the knowledge that Krishna is happy. Because once you are thinking whether Krishna is pleased or not, once you are worried about the pleasure of Krishna in our activities, then you are really worried about Krishna, working for Krishna. So, when we check our activities, whether I am performing for me or for Krishna, so we ourselves will come to know, yes, no, most of the activities I am performing for myself only, for my pleasure, for the pleasure of my son, for the pleasure of my daughter, my wife, my, which is nothing to do. As a Vaishnava, as a Vaishnavi, your wife as Vaishnavi, if you are trying to please a Vaishnava or Vaishnavi, then that is a different issue. As wife, my wife, you are getting into attachment. They are the binding, big shackles. So they will keep us here only. So we have to check up ourselves whether our activities are performed exclusively for Krishna as much as possible. The Gopi Bhava is that only. They were performing everything for Krishna, leaving their husband, leaving their children, leaving everything. Somehow make Krishna happy. All the activities for the pleasure of Krishna. When they reach, that's why Uddhava, when goes there, he pays obeisances. He puts namaskar for the dhuli of the padarenu, for the dirt of the feet. He says, I offer my obeisances. They are so purifying. So, with this, I think we stop here. Srila Prabhupada ki jai. Srimad Bhagavad Gita ki jai.